So we can do 20 or 25. I think I want to play a thief run. So thief it is. Let me update the title real quick. NG+25 thief run. So I want to try out some different statues. So I'm gonna go Callus for sure, but I also want to go Ozreth, and I think I want to try out Baralath. It's not 20 like my other ones, but it's getting there. Been mainly using Kyra Bolgarth for a while, but I switched out Bolgarth for Ozreth, and I think I want to try switching out Kyra for what's it called? Faralath. We got some decently high statues. Yeah, I tried to get everything to 20. So a lot of my paladin runs have been devoted to getting as much like gold and ore as possible. But I like kind of loathe playing the paladin, so I'm slowly grinding ore on the other characters now, where it feels a lot slower. What do we want? We want Heartseeker or Lucky Hat, and like some other decent items would be great. Heartseeker, Scarab. So we got our poison, we got our Heartseeker, a little bit of luck. Pretty sweet start, if I say so myself. I'm working on statues in my Gladiator. I want to try out Faralath on the Gladiator. I've been using Kyra. Because if I spam click through all my stacks, I want to still be able to do damage, but I'm thinking with his disarm, I should just be using Faralath for everything and getting extra damage with that. And then I can also get a poison item and do extra damage with that as well. It just seems really good. Seems really good, I don't know how it actually is. Oh, we'll have to remember to swap our paladin's traits back. Makes the net like a nuclear bomb on Gladiator. Yeah, and he normally doesn't have any issues with like bosses, so it should be kind of like a win-win. Genetic Eruption, Cinder Demise, Wicked Sickness, Overflowing Physique, and Crazy Eye. Yeah, also, what's up, Spinda? Or, Spadina? 25. Not too much. 25. Anything else we need to do? Got our items. Got our drinks, statues. Yeah, alright, we should be good to go. I was running Warlock today. What kind of Warlock you been running? Been doing primary or skills? Or like some fancy hybrid? Found that Mage Bane is way better than Staff for skill builds. I could see that for Warlock, at least potentially. Everything will change when we get the Witch Hunter at least. Or should. Staff should be way better when we get all the skill crit bonus. There's so many ways to build characters now. It's really just like whatever you prefer. As long as you're getting crit, like luck, and like magic penetration somewhere, you're pretty much playing the build correctly. And a way to get into combo. God, I love the Thief. I think he might be my favorite character. Slippery Cloak, Blackjack, Chainmail. It's like a no-brainer on that one. More Evasion, which works with Feralath. More Stun, which also works with Feralath. Or you have the Poison for Ozreth, and more Armor for Callus. So this is like a statue build. Triple damage statues feels like the future. I mean, I guess every statue is damage, except for like Bolgarth. It kind of falls off late game, but it's really good utility early game. Warlock definitely does not have boss damage issues. I felt like the worst boss for Warlock was actually Thunder Snow, because you can't really set up the gargoyles around him in like a meaningful way like you can with the Watcher and some of the other bosses. Feels the slowest on Thunder Snow, for me at least, as the primary build. Experience, I actually kind of need it. We didn't get all our levels last time. Boots of Speed. Yes, we're gonna have a fast run. Yeah, that's all that ever felt slow on primary to me. Was Thunder Snow. Everything else felt great. I preferred it more on the primary than the skill build. Also find with statue hunting you find 1 statue and 3 floors. Oh, we were on fire yesterday with finding statues. We had 2 runs where we had the 1 statue on each floor. And most of our runs we did, we were finding like 2 statues. 2 statue blueprints or whatever. The next 25 runs you find 0. I think it depends like your levels too, because all my statues are around 20, but I have I've done up to 31 for pyramid. So all my recipes can be up to 30, but most of them are only around 20. I just wanted to go ahead and knock out as much pyramid as possible, so I could just avoid it. Because it's really unfortunate when you're just like, alright, I can level up like one of my statues. And you have to go and you have to do 1 pyramid run, and you have to go and farm 1 pyramid blueprint. I just want to do everything at the same time. And I won't have to go back until all my statues are like level 30, which is going to be forever from now. Hey, Wand of Spell Piercing. It's a sweet pickup. I do desert rushes. That's pretty much what I was doing. Which you probably saw the video. I was just doing Paladin. Basically only killing the bosses, ignore shops, ignore most things. But yeah, desert rushes are, I would say, the way to go. You don't really need to spend time hanging out in the pyramid too much. Unless you just want some skill stars, but I would still go for rushes. If you can. You can't do it on every class. Oh, yeah, if you're just doing recipe farming. Like blueprint farming. I guess I should have been more clear. There's like two different things you do. You do the actual pyramid level farming, which is just kill the 3 bosses as fast as possible. And then you can do the suicide desert rushes to get blueprints as fast as possible. I agree with that. That's what I do. We did a bunch of them yesterday and we got like pretty lucky. At least felt lucky. I should try out Divine Blast on Thief again. Like I felt comfortable with Strike. It was fine. It's probably like personal preference. Like a lot of things in this game now. Don't know if you saw about adding build variety to your guide. Oh yeah, I haven't had time to check my messages. I saw that you sent me a message, but I didn't look at it. So people understand the builds, not just follow a template. Yeah, I mean, part of it I wanted it to be, I guess, like backed up with things I've actually tested. I mean, I've definitely tested those things in like the old meta. And that's where the primary and skill portions are supposed to help people out. But yeah, I might try to make it a little more clear that like you need to solve like 3 things. You need to solve crit, you need to solve combo, and oh, that's about it actually. And luck just helps you solve both those things. Yeah, if your build solves crit, combo, and maybe like magic penetration, then you have like a good build. So not just for a character, but meta build basics. Yeah, meta build basics could be like a good section to have. I could probably expand on the crit builds versus primary builds. I think I just have like explaining how primary builds are different from skill builds. Stab in the Dark and Mad Proposal. I really don't want to recommend those drinks to like new players though. I don't feel like any new player is gonna like join the game and pick up Stab in the Dark and be like, oh yeah, this is awesome. I think people are gonna like kind of get wise to it. Like when people start getting good at the game, they'll start playing with Stab in the Dark if they want. Because I see like the reverse effect happening where people try it and they're like, oh my god, this is such a bad build. Like these drinks are like horrible. You could just do this other thing, you know. So I'm trying to make it like as noob friendly as possible. Which maybe there's some way I could say like, you know, like a guide for advanced players or something. But even should know of them. I guess so. I guess I just see people in the Discord all the time that's like, what's the deal with Mad Proposal? Like, how are you supposed to use this? And most people can't use it. It's like 5 people that can use it. Yeah, I could probably find a spot just to put that in there. 8 runs, no blueprints. What's your NG level, and what are your statue blueprint levels? Your keyboard sucks. What does that have to do with it? Oh, you try to do an emote. Oh, I see. Your DLC is NG+39. And what are your statue blueprints at? You definitely should be able to find some blueprints. Been pushing like crazy. Statues are 12 to 20. Yeah, you should be able to find like a good amount then. I assume you're doing the old map and everything. Just getting RNG gypped. Yeah, it happens sometimes. It's weird because when I first made that guide, I did like, what was it, like 4 hours or maybe 3 hours of just running pyramid for recipe stuff, and I was convinced you couldn't find multiple blueprints. Like if you found one on floor 1, you couldn't find any more. And then ever since then, I've been finding like multiple. But at the time, I was not finding them like at all. So I was having like horrible luck, which sucked because then I made the guide and then had to make a new one because I said some wrong stuff in it. Whoops. But it was all like the same day, so it didn't matter. I was just like proud of the first one, and then I was like, oh yeah, I said all this stuff wrong. Should probably redo it. Dang it. But I'm glad I redid it in the long run. But at the time it was like, it was lame. I'm gonna redo it. Gone since blueprints is 0. That's our first level of our new set of levels. Can I just play Thief forever? Jeez, Thief is amazing. Feels so good. Also could definitely use the gold gain. More gold gain. More ore. Just higher level statues, which just makes all your characters go higher. What are your 5 worst drinks? Like, what would be the worst run for me to do with 5 drinks? I gotta say, like, Mad Proposal's up there. I would put, what is it? There's one that gives you minus movement speed and another one that gives you minus movement speed. Having both of them together feels awful. So I would say those 3 drinks and Kinetic Kiss at the same time. Having trouble thinking of another drink after that. Those 4 for sure. Those 4 together. Isn't there one? It's like the Slumbering Giant as well, which can be good on like Gladiator, but I personally don't play with it. So you would attack really slow, you could have no mana, you would move really slow, and you would move in random directions. I would say Stab in the Dark could be bad, but I can actually play with Stab in the Dark. I just don't like to play with Stab in the Dark. Safe bet. No, there's one, it's called like Slumbering Giant. I meant, what do you think have a kind of bad buff but a horrible nerf? What do you think have a kind of bad buff but a horrible nerf? Oh, okay. I think I know what you're saying. Maybe we should rephrase it like, what drinks would I like say should be deleted from the game to make new drinks? I'd have to look at them. To your character. Kinetic Kiss is pretty bad downside. I mean, if you're moving, you get mana, which is kind of interesting. But if you take any damage, you lose all your mana, which is pretty brutal. Safe bet, the upside is really good, but the downside is really bad. Unless you're one of the crazy people. but actual just like really bad drinks. Safe bet does feel like not balanced well. Like luck is too powerful, even for 20% resist and armor. -5 luck is like way too significant. Personally, I hate mind control, perpetual desire, cranky clergyman the most. What is the clergyman? Yeah, I think mind control, like, it's like a crutch for new players, I think. And there's like times where I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of like interesting to just ignore the traps, but having the like double ignite duration would be brutal in like the Watcher if you're playing like a caster or something. You're taking all of that ignite damage or burning damage. It's gonna like kill your character from like 100% to 0. Yeah, it can also have an upside like that. It depends like what build you're playing. It's like they all have like some upsides and downsides. I wish the one that gave you double ore gain didn't give you minus gold gain, so you get ore and gold at the same time. I would actually maybe use it for like progression runs. I felt really confident. I was like, alright, I'll just get a bunch of like ore and a bunch of gold this run, but instead you have to pick one or the other. Argument is the less skill speed for 25 more resist. Ugh. Yeah, I guess that's like my thing. My personal preference is I don't want my character any slower like ever. So if I can avoid getting all the stuff that like minuses my attack speed, minuses my skill speed, minuses my movement speed, or like regen, I'm gonna be pretty happy if I can avoid all that kind of stuff. Same goes with like luck. I don't want to minus my luck with safe bet and not be able to get into combo, so I'm just like doing less damage for no reason. That's the kind of stuff I don't like, which might mean they're good negative effects. I guess I just wish there were like other negative effects. One that's interesting, but I never play with it. I don't know the current form that it's in, but it's the one that it causes bleeding on hit, but you have like 50% reduced base health. I think it got nerfed a couple times, like, so it's not as bad. I think it's still bad. I just can't think of what it's called. The reason I don't like mind control is that it's a counter to one act and makes others more dangerous. Oh, it makes the others more dangerous, yeah. I mean, there's confusion in Act 3 and... or sorry, Act 4 and 5. So it counters that, but... you're just gonna take up so much burning damage. So I could see it on like Paladin or something maybe, but Paladin's like the safest to do traps with. So like the characters you really need it on, it's just not good. Like you would want to play it on like Wizard or Sorcerer that have like... if they have an issue with the traps, like they go the wrong way or something, they're gonna like almost be dead, but instead they just burn for twice as long, which instead makes them almost dead. It solves the issue by presenting a new but similar issue. But if you're playing like Thief or Ranger, you can usually just run through the traps and evade most of it. Same with Paladin, you at least have like a heal, so you can always go a little slower and heal. Priest is the same way, so like for the classes you easily can just do it. Wait, do I need to catch up? Oh, Spilled Blood, yes. Spilled Blood was the name. How does Kinetic Kiss stop Incendiary Demise? Oh, burning loses your mana, yeah. It doesn't stop incendiary demise, it just makes it to where, yeah, the other way around. Yeah, Incendiary Demise is really good. It's probably too good and should be nerfed. If not just taken out of the game, to be honest. But the issue is like, everyone's achieved all these levels on like different New Game Pluses. And if they change anything in like a really impactful way, people just aren't ever going to be able to compete. Which puts it in kind of like an awkward situation. But I know I've said it before, I think it's really lame that every build is pretty much the same. Like, every build is crit, either spell crit or primary crit. Every build focuses on combo, every build focuses on now luck, because luck just gives you combo. And more crits. But also, every build does more magic damage than physical damage. I think that's kind of a weird thing. And it's all because of Incendiary Demise. Only really O's that high on his NGs. I mean, I guess so. But you said you're like 80 and some other people are like pushing the 70s. It just seems like O has the most time to play. Or, yeah. What do you think should be, what could be a new drink or change some existing ones? What would I like to see? I'd like to see like the physical equivalent to Incendiary Demise that was on the same like power level. Maybe you could, I don't know, this is like all off the top of my head, so I'm trying to think. But you could make an equivalent like Incendiary Demise, but maybe it confuses you on primary. So you'd have to couple it with the mind control drink or something, and you can have like some physical build that was immune to combo. Drink that added flat damage to skills would be cool. I don't know what the downside would be. Like, at first thought, I'm like, alright, drink that increases the flat damage on your skills could increase your mana cost of your skills, but that would increase your damage, so it'd be like Elemental Bruiser all over again. It's like, maybe it could reduce your damage instead, so potentially nerf your DPS. Maybe a drink that, if you do a status ailment to like an enemy, it applies it to everything around it. Which could kind of make, what's that statue that no one uses? Irwin? The freeze on primary. If you freeze one thing, it would freeze everything in like a small area around that thing. Then like maybe people would take that. But that statue is just yikes. Some of the statues are really weird, to be honest. I don't like... I think it's weird that Kyra, the projectiles aren't considered a primary, and they scale off the skill power. And the same goes with, what is it? Wilmer increases skill speed. Or no, the issue is like Bolgarth. That's what it is, Bolgarth. Bolgarth scales the faster you attack, but the actual thing scales off of skill power. So for skill builds, it's really easy to scale the 100 damage into like 1000 damage, but you don't attack with your primary as much. But on primary builds, you attack with it a lot, but you can't scale it. It's like weird, it's kind of backwards feeling. Maybe that's by design. It just makes it weaker than like playing with Ozreth or something. The arrows scale off of attack power last time I checked. They shouldn't. Yeah, they definitely shouldn't, because it's considered a skill. The only things that are primaries are your divines and your actual primary. Everything else in the game is a skill. So Kyra doesn't scale off of skills, which is why people don't really care about Kyra levels as much. Or sorry, Kyra doesn't scale off of primary, so that's why people don't care about its levels as much, because if you're playing a primary build, you're not scaling skill power enough for Kyra to really be relevant. Yeah, Kyra would probably one-shot everything. I don't know, I think that it should just be... It should, I don't know, somehow fix it. It adds the flat damage to your primary, like Incendiary Demise does. But, obviously nerf the damage, because the damage is like crazy. Because if this was primary, right, we're looking at... Oh, I don't have Kyra at 1, but the arrows do more damage than what my primary attack says it does, like by double. I think it does like 40 every Kyra arrow, but it doesn't scale. So all the primary crit and crit bonus I'm getting from the Gladiator and all that just doesn't scale. But maybe it's not worth changing, because when Witch Hunter comes out, if it's skill crit bonus, maybe you'll be able to scale primary and skill on one character really easily. I'm just worried about the game getting like too easy with the Witch Hunter. Because we're adding in 2 titles and we're not making the game any harder. We added in statues, we didn't make the game any harder. We added in Bestiary. So we're like kind of already rolling over everything. And we're just going to get more stuff to help us roll over everything. So I think we need to see some nerfs, or we need to see some buffs to the enemies at some point. Which might be an unpopular opinion. Yeah, unless I misspoke, I'm agreeing with you, 2Ls, that it's a skill, it's all skill power. I'd like to see a hardcore league with harder mechanics and permadeath. Actual hardcore. There's like so many interesting things they can do, but a lot of it, the answers are mods, and I don't want to use mods. Permadeath wouldn't be fun at all. I think a small portion of the player base would enjoy it. Yeah, I don't know if I could partake in that. But I do see a lot of power creep in the game, and like everything else is staying the same. It's really apparent on like softcore, or not softcore, on Paladin, where you're doing like NG10 and it feels the same as NG60. The game has no pace anymore. Yeah. There's just no like big hurdles. It's like the hurdle from NG0 to NG2, and then NG2 to like NG6 is really easy because you're just attuning all the best items for your character. And then NG6 to like NG12 or 15, you're working on all the other items, and you're slowly learning the rest of the game. And then after that, it's just the same thing over and over again. just play other games that want to be challenged. That's true. I guess it's just like the game has changed so much, and it's really like nothing's wrong with it. It used to just be maybe not even hard, but I guess it depends how far back you go. I didn't play before the Anvil came out, so I know the game was like really hard back then when the NG scaling was on the mob side instead of the player side, but I didn't actually play during that. So what I remember is like priest runs taking NG, yeah, priest runs, or like really any NG run like +4 to +6 would take you at least 2 hours on like every character. NG6 was near impossible to begin with. Yeah, with the scaling on the mob side, it was like the mob's base damage got up to like 300% around NG6 or something like that. And once that happened, the armor could never catch up enough to where it mattered. You had like diminishing returns. You could never get enough armor to like reduce the damage. And then they slowly added in like the all the new items and markums and all that kind of stuff. Made the game easier. And put the scaling on the player side. The guy who was playing had like 8-hour long runs. Yeah, I know Poop did like a 8 or 10-hour priest run at like NG 37. Yeah, I remember seeing stuff that was like NG +4 Ranger and taking like 2 hours. And I'm pretty sure all of my old stuff took just as long. Oh, you think it was 36, giving him 37? Yeah, I'm not sure. I stopped playing before he got to that point. I remember watching him in like the 33, 34 area, then I started playing a different game. Didn't come back for like, what, 4 months, 6 months, something like that, till they had like the next update. Oh, that was the wrong way. Didn't mean to do that. Wait on the machine gun. That's, yikes. Alright, well that was sloppy. But we made it. Ugh. Did they fix the play a lot crash? Because I did the speed runs, and now I'm doing this run, and I haven't had any issues. What are you planning on playing next? I am taking suggestions. Play whatever class pretty much. Everyone's NG20 right now. So I want to complete NG20 on everyone here shortly. It's like always some stuff I can just mess around with, or if people want to do like arena runs as like a stream, we can do that. So whatever people want to see, want to do. So I'm curious how fast you can do 4-player arena runs. I'm sure it's like 2 minutes of rank now. Wouldn't mind getting a bunch of stats. But if you want to see a certain tower run, yeah, just let me know. We can play that next. Especially with the level 420 Paladin Arena. Gonna teach me how to play PoE. I don't want to play PoE until the new season comes out. I know they just came out with the, what's it called, Flashback? But I'm gonna wait till the new league, and then I'll probably play a character. Play Wind Ripper, Bow, Magic Finder. Rinse and repeat. Ugh, I don't want to play that. I do not like Magic Find. It just doesn't interest me. But it's definitely a good way to get some money and fund like an actual like good build. Shockwave Totem Dream. Oh god. Next you're gonna be saying I should play minion builds and traps and mines and all of that. It'd be interesting how they fix melee in the next in 3.7. Curious about that. Auto bomber meme builds. Ugh. Yeah, y'all are like mentioning all the builds I hate. I thought about playing a one of those infinite leap builds, not the auto bomber, but like the different one. So I might still play that next league. I'm just not sure. Secrets of Grindera. I have played it. Has there been an update in a while? I remember last time I played, we had beaten everything and we collected all the cards. Or most of them. Maybe not all of them. But the last update I remember is they came out with like player housing. Do Wind Ripper for currency and Lab Runner build for fun. Neither one of those things are fun to me. I don't want to play in the lab. Sounds horrible. I have some friends that like playing in the lab. The desert one. The desert one? Yeah, doing maps over and over gets boring. I basically just try to get a character to do Uber Elder once a league. If I'm having fun, then I'll do more. But like Synthesis, I wasn't having a ton of fun, so I just did Uber Elder once, and then I quit. And also like the expansion for this game came out like the exact same time as Path of Exile came out. But I was more in a mood for Path of Exile, so I was playing that. And now I'm more in a mood for Here's a Hammerwatch, especially if they're gonna do the DLC next month. Hopefully it stays on time. I'll be playing a lot of Witch Hunter. Just hoping the Witch Hunter isn't like the exact same build as everyone else. Where you just go skill, crit, damage, luck, combo, build. I'm sure it will be like that, at least for a little while. Yeah, send it back to town. Yeah, PoE gets kind of like hot and cold with me sometimes, just because I played like most of the builds I care to play. So unless something new comes out and it's not like meta to where it's really expensive, then I don't know, there's not like a lot I'm super interested in like trying. I've tried a ton of stuff. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by the desert one. I don't recall that from Secrets of Grandiera. Maybe just an update I haven't played. Did we almost die there? I think we almost died. We tanked those spears. Aren't they adding companions or something? Or is that only cosmetic? Oh, we don't know what companions do. I'm gonna assume they pick up gold for you, at the least. It's possible they could have some like minor buff to your character, but I kind of hope they don't. I kind of hope they just run around and pick up gold. Isn't worth killing the overseers for items? Yeah, it definitely is. You can kind of just judge your character though, if you feel like you need to go out of your way for the items. I have 2 ace keys. They're normally a good way to get ace keys, and they're a way to get like some items. But I feel pretty powerful in my character, so I'm just gonna save the time and go to the dragon. Also already got my XP. If I need XP, I would definitely farm them out as well. It's like, I almost run the risk of getting my character killed if I'm like trying to fight all the overseers and there's like a bunch of casters. So instead of like farming them all out for items to make this run even easier, I could just play like another run and be more time efficient. It's kind of how I look at it. There's a 3rd ace key. There's no way we're using 3 ace keys. But that kind of goes with like personal feeling. If you're not like super confident that you're going to complete the run, and definitely go out of your way to pick up more items. But I know like if I failed this run right now, I would just buy my starting items, starting drinks, and skip all the way till act, what, 5? As far as I can skip, and then I'd be right back where I was. So it would put me back like 20 minutes, but it'd be fine. I think it came 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah, it's been a while since I've played it. It's probably been maybe a year since I played Secrets from Grandiera. So maybe I'll have to check that out again. Getting a lot of imps this run. Can they finally give me something I care about? That is the real question. Dragon Scale Mail. Sometimes a glass walk works when the tower on this floor, sometimes it don't. Wait, no Kyra, trying out Fairlath? Yeah, trying out Fairlath. Doing a Fairlath. What's the other one? Callus Ozrath run? Oh, we have an imp somewhere. Let's go back. I definitely still like Kyra. I just don't know if it's worth it on the thief versus some of the other options. It's definitely worth it early, but I think maybe as you get your statue levels higher and higher, it's going to be more efficient for you to use Fairlath instead. Like a level 1 Kyra is like really good and you can roll with that for a long time. I mean, you get a couple arrows. Yeah, you get the arrows with Kyra. They just don't scale very well. They help proc my passives. I don't see where this imp is. I might be blind. Either keep passing him up or he's gone by now. Oh well. I keep floating away from the item. Help. So what's everybody up to tonight? Anybody do anything fun? Oh, that's broken, that's right. Duke's Signet Ring. Why would you even pick up that item if you're still skill-based? I have Markham's items. You're playing skill-based. I'm not playing skill-based though. If you're playing skill-based, then it's going to be a loss of DPS for sure. You should try not to pick it up. But for a primary build, definitely pick it up if you have Markham's items. Do you want to do any arena? Yeah, people want to do arena. I was looking to see if, was it Puddles Are Fun wanted to see a certain run? But maybe he was asking what I was playing next. As like, what game I was playing next. I'm about to finish Wizard +9. But yeah, I'll do some arena. And if anyone else wants to do arena, maybe we can get like a 4-player team together to like just knock out a bunch at once, like for an hour or something. So I'm thinking, right, we can all set up, grind the arena for an hour, and get 30 ranks, which would be like 150 stats for your character. Mainly interested in doing Paladin at the moment, but that's fine. I want to do either Paladin or Gladiator for myself. But I think eventually I should spend like an hour on each of my characters and get them like 30 ranks each. What are their arena ranks? All my characters' arena ranks are 0 except for Paladin. Well, and Thief. Thief has rank 9, Paladin has rank 26, and everyone else has rank 0. So yeah, I have a 26 and a 9. I'm at 38. How does that work? If I do a 38 with you, do I get my 27 completion? Because if so, that's fine. I don't really care. But if we're bringing people from the stream, if like everyone has like a rank 1, we should all probably just play rank 1s and go like rank 1 to 30. You get 27. That's not bad. You've just done a ton of arena. I've just been doing tower runs pretty much. Would there be a level minimum? So let me think. If we try to do up to rank 30, that is like NG6. So NG6 would be preferred, but you could always just drop out early or something. I'd be bringing a level 60. I don't know what level 60 is, but that sounds probably high enough. 47 minutes, and let's look at the spread. 263, 81 physical, 181 magical. Cool. NG60 is like NG10. I don't think so, because what, NG0 is up to level 20, and then it's 5 per after that. So it's like NG8 or something. It's pretty close to NG10, but yeah. Alright, so that was Thief NG+25.